Hey guys, welcome back to Cooking with Tammy. Yes, we are back in the building with another great recipe. Today I'm going to show you how to make a delicious Chipotle chicken tacos. This recipe is going to be quick and easy, but guess what? It's going to be filled with tons of mouth-watering flavor. So with all of that being said, let's quickly introduce these ingredients and get to cooking. First on up is our chicken breast, looking absolutely nice and clean and camera ready. I cleaned the chicken in a salt water solution, added a little bit of lemon to the water, rinsed it off really good in clean water, and once I was done, grabbed a couple paper towels and patted it dry. We also have our fresh cilantro on hand, along with our avocado, chipotle peppers, and adobo sauce. And when it comes down to the seasonings, they're going to be pretty basic today, guys. We're going to be using ground cumin along with ground oregano, a little bit of salt if necessary, along with chicken bouillon, and we also have some fresh garlic on hand, along with our lime, tomato, disregard the jalapeno, that's for another recipe, and we also have some water for this recipe, along with our street taco size flour tortillas. So with all of that being said, let's get to cooking. As you can see, we went ahead and rearranged our cutting board. All right, with only the stuff that we're going to be using for part one of the recipe. Now, here's the thing. We have our fresh cilantro right up here. Just going to give it one quick rough chop. We're going to place it into our blender because we're going to be blending everything up. We're also going to add our garlic, oregano, along with our cumin, chicken bouillon, salt, adobo peppers. Now here's the thing, these guys right here, guys, are really hot. They're really spicy because they've been marinating in this tomato based sauce. So we're not going to add a lot. I'm just going to add one. However, if you like a lot of saucy sauce, or if you like a lot of spice in your saucy sauce, then that's up to you if you want to add a lot more. We're going to cut our lime in half, and we're just going to hit it with a quick spritz of lime juice. You can do half of a lime if you want, or you can do a whole lime just like me. I love the fresh lime flavor. I love the burst of the acidity that it brings to this recipe. And we're going to add a little oil, about a tablespoon worth. Add just a little bit of water. Just a little bit. We're going to cover it one down. And we are going to blitz it. We're going to place it on our food processor and we're going to get to processing, all right? Check it. Let's see what's going on. Everything looks absolutely gorgeous and we're ready to go. We are going to place our chicken in this Dutch oven right here because, yes, your girl is rocking out with the Dutch oven today. However, this recipe is universal because it's a Cooking with Tammy recipe. I got you. You can cook this recipe in your crock pot. You can also cook it in a slow cooker. You can cook it on top of the stovetop. I'm going to give you all of the instructions on what to do depending on how you're going to cook it. But in the meanwhile, we're just going to add this delicious sauce, or should I say chipotle sauce, to our chicken. And for this recipe, I am using chicken breast. However, if you have chicken thighs, you can definitely use chicken thighs as well. All right, spread it onto the chicken. Just in case you're wondering, this is measurements for 3.5 pounds of chicken breast. It doesn't matter if it's breast, thighs, whatever piece of chicken you prefer is what you can definitely rock out with. Since I'm going to add water to this recipe, why not add the water in here and get everything out of the jar. Shake it on up really good. Let's get our money's worth. And add it around the perimeter. And we're going to cover it on down, guys, and we are going to place it into our oven at, let's see, I'm going to do 400, about maybe 400 degrees Fahrenheit because I just like to cook fast. However, if you add it to your oven, you can always place it in there at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Cook the chicken for about 1 hour or until tender. However, if you're rocking out with the stovetop, you can add more liquid, boil the chicken for about 40 to 45 minutes or until tender as well. And if you're rocking out with the slow cooker, you can add 1 cup of broth and cook the chicken for about 6 to 8 hours or until tender. For anyone using a pressure cooker, set it for 40 minutes on the poultry setting and you will be good to go. In the meanwhile, I'm going to cover it on down, place it into our oven. Like I said, I'm going to rock out with 400 degrees. That doesn't mean you have to cook yours at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Just know that it may take a little longer to cook. You can put it in there for about 350, 375. Just be militant and continue checking to make sure you don't need to add water to your pot. We are going to work on making our delicious pico de gallo. And the reason why I emphasize on delicious is because I have something that I want to introduce to you guys, but I'm going to show you a little later. In the meanwhile, let's work on slicing our onions. We have our sliced onions that we're going to add to this bowl right here. We are going to work on rough chopping our cilantro. Get in there, chop it up one more time, refine it down just a little bit more. And the reason why I'm refining it even more is because I want all of that burst of flavor that cilantro has to offer, all right? Now, the other thing is cilantro pairs perfectly with lime juice. They should almost literally be twins, all right? I can't stand when you have a lime that's large in size and when you squeeze it on out, nothing much comes out, but then you have those little limes and so much liquid comes out. You're like, oh my God, like you're little, but you give a lot of juice. All right, that's all we gonna get. So as they say, take it or leave it. We are gonna remove the top from our jalapeno, just like that. Split it down the middle. And what do you see, guys? You see a bunch of white stuff, aka the membrane, and you also see those seeds. Now, this is where all of the heat in this jalapeno consists. It consists within the membrane along with the seeds. We're gonna take our knife, make sure it's a nice sharp knife. Sharp enough to remove whatever you need to remove, but not sharp enough to cut your hands. And we're gonna slide it around the jalapeno and safely remove the membrane along with most of the seeds. Have some more seeds here. Unless you like heat, you can leave it in there. If not, just take your knife and just bang on it like that, and as you can see, we're good to go. Prior to cutting the jalapeno, of course, you are gonna wash it on off in cold water. Make sure it's nice and clean, because while it was hanging out in the grocery store, everybody literally touched it. Cut it on up, add it to our bowl. Tomato time. So I'm gonna use, let's see, I'm probably gonna end up using the whole tomato. And this size is perfect. We're gonna transfer it over to a larger bowl. Add a little bit more lime juice, because that, ooh, see, this one right here had a lot to offer. My goodness. All right, it's time for the grand finale. Time to bring this recipe on home. I am going to introduce you to this right here, guys. It's our rosé balsamic vinegar. Let me tell you something. All right, if you've ever drank rosé, it tastes very similar, all right? But it's in balsamic vinegar form, and it's going to step the flavors up in our pico de gallo, because you know how your girl rock out. Yes, yes, yes. You know what time it is when you're cooking with Tammy, all right? So I'm going to add a good amount of this stuff right here. Adding the vinegar along with the lime juice to the pico could be a little bit on the strong side. So if you want to add some water, just a small amount to even out the flavors, you can definitely do that as well. Absolutely delicious. Now here's the thing. Because this is like a pickled veggie mix, if you want to call it that, I'm going to cover it on down. I'm going to place it into the refrigerator, allow it to chill out for just a bit. Our chicken has about 10 more minutes left in the oven. So in the meanwhile, let's make some fresh guacamole. There's nothing better than fresh guacamole. So far in this bowl, we have some diced up onions along with our diced up jalapenos. The other half that I used, or should I say the other half that I had left, I used it for the guacamole. And we also have some fresh lime juice already in here. And we have another one right here because we want that extra lime juice, along with our avocado and our roma tomato. So let's get it, guys. We're gonna dice this tomato on up. Roma tomato. Tomato. And we're gonna get in there and just cut it in the opposite direction. Make sure it's perfectly diced on up. If you like your tomatoes chunky, rock out like that, not a problem. And we're good to go, guys. We're gonna add it to our bowl. We are gonna cut into our avocado. And I'm gonna show you how to cut into it. Because the other day I saw a video where a girl was literally slicing an avocado, like trying to cut through the seed. I just don't know what was going on. After we cut it around the perimeter, we're just gonna go in and twist it slightly clockwise, and boom, that's it. Yes, so simple, so easy. And you're not gonna cut through the seed. You're not even gonna eat the seed, all right? You're gonna place it on down, take your knife, just run it straight down like that. Get those fingers out of the way. And you're going to turn it to the other side. Make some cube cuts in there, square cuts, whatever cuts you want to call it. And you're going to scoop it on out just like that. It makes it so much easier to remove it from the skin. Get it on out already. What's taking so long? All right, and we're good to go, guys. We're gonna hit it off with just a small pinch of salt, give it a little extra flavor. We're also gonna hit it with a little bit of fresh ground black pepper as well. And I can't believe this, but I forgot my cilantro. Yes, I did. So we're gonna quickly chop it on up. Not a problem. It happens. All right, get the cilantro, wash it on off really good. Get in there, chop it on up. I went ahead and added the second half of our avocado to our guacamole mix, and I tasted it. Quick taste, right? And I realized, yes, it's nice and chunky, but I wanted it a little bit more smoother in consistency. So I went ahead and I used my chopper right here. I like to refer to it as my chopper. And I just went in and I just broke it down just like that. Quick and easy. And the great thing about this mechanism right here is the fact that you can control it. You can stop whenever you think it's the perfect consistency. Get back in there with your spoon, stir it on up, give it a quick taste, and see what you're working with. And then if it's not what you desire, you go back in there, refine it a little bit more. And obviously, if it's what you prefer, you leave it like that. But nevertheless, this is it right here. Absolutely delicious, perfect in texture and everything. So let's move on to putting our Chipotle chicken tacos together. After about 30 to 35 minutes, our chicken is nice and tender. Now here's the thing, we're gonna break this chicken apart. It's always kind of awkward using 2 forks to shred chicken, isn't it? You just can't get in there and go as fast as you want to. Now, as you can see, that little bit of sauce that we had in our Dutch oven, or should I say pot for that matter, once we broke the chicken up, all of that sauce was absorbed within the chicken. So we're going to have not only flavorful chicken, but really juicy and moist chicken, which is always a great thing, right? Anyway, guys, let's start on putting everything together. We have our street-sized flour tortillas that we're going to toast on up. I didn't add any oil to the frying pan. We're just going to place it on in there, allow them to get nice and hot. And once they start to brown a little bit or toast on up, we're going to flip it on over and allow the same thing to happen on the other side as well. Our tortillas are starting to puff up just a little bit. I'm going to flip it on over. Check it on out. Charred perfectly on the back. We're going to remove our tortillas from the pan and place it onto our cutting board. Time to put these delicious Chipotle chicken tacos together, guys. We've waited long enough. Get in here one more time. Mix our chicken up in our delicious sauce. Make sure everything is well distributed. Yes. We're going to take our perfectly shredded chicken and add it to our tortilla, just like that. Since we have an array of so many different condiments, let's see, we're going to add some of our pico de gallo, featuring our delicious rosé balsamic vinegar, yes, to some of our tacos, all right? Or should I say to all of our tacos. You have nothing to lose with this recipe right here. It's so delicious. if your food is not falling off of your tortilla, then you're definitely doing something wrong. Just like that. Check it on out. We're gonna add some of our Mexican blend of shredded cheese. Not too much. If you like a lot of cheese, then hey, why not? And we also have Mexican crema. So of course, if you get down with the cream, you can always add a small dollop of cream to your tacos, just like that. And I'm not gonna add cream to all of the tacos, all right? Simply because I wanna cater to some of our non-cream lovers out there who may be watching, all right? Tammy, what are you doing? Don't add any cream. Gonna add a little bit of guacamole to the top, just like that. On one of them, and let me tell you, this right here is everything. Gonna add a little cilantro to our tacos just for that garnish and presentation. And we are finished. Yes, we are. We put this whole thing together in about, let's see, an hour. All right, so our Chipotle chicken tacos are done. We made our Chipotle chicken. We also made our fresh guacamole along with our delicious infused pico de gallo with rosé balsamic vinegar. We also have our crema. So everything together, I would say, let's see, maybe about $10 to put this whole meal together for an entire family, if not 15. But nevertheless, it's under 20 and it's cost efficient, like I said. So with all of that being said, I'm your girl Cooking with Tammy, and I will definitely catch you guys in another video. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.